Hello and welcome to this video. Now we've had a look at the patch notes. They're not full and complete, and then we've only had them for a little while. But here's the general gist of what you can start with, build starter wise, and what you might want to lean away from. First I'll talk mercenaries. Mercenaries, we don't have information, like the full information of what they can have, but in general, just the way they seem to play, I would suggest that you use them for either auras or use them as a trigger. So if you need things to be bleeding, stunned, taunted, and hexed, anything like that. Obviously, we don't know if they can curse things, but if they can, that's going to be really good. But just keep in mind, keep listening out. You might be able to use them as a trigger. So if you do extra damage to bleeding and they do bleed and have a decent chance, you have a chance, then you're going to do more damage that way. Same as stun, same as chilled, shocked, anything like that. Use them as a trigger. Another way, just keep in your back of your mind, you might be able to do a sort of you as a aura bot type, them as the damage. Now this might not go massively. You could end up in a party. You could be aura botting your party and the mercs, and you could end up with a massive just devastation thing. So keep in the back of the mind once we get more information on the actual mercenaries. But use them as a trigger is what I'm leaning towards, what we're going to be able to do with them. Now, as far as skills, things to stay away from that you might not be as powerful. We got Lightning Strike is a big one that people used. Molten Strike of the Zenith endgame, because you're going to use Sunder and stuff like that, and Bone Shatter to level the character and then turn into Molten Strike. It's 200% less damage. It still will be very dangerous once you get gear on it, but just so you know, it is 200% less damage than last league. And another big change that people like using is the Relic S boosts. They give you Frenzy Power and Endurance Charge. They no longer will give all three. It will give a specific one. So you might actually have to pay more because you're going to have a specialized pair of boots with movement speed. So the general consensus will probably be that whatever is more likely that people want, the more money you're going to have to pay. If you're in that zone where you're actually using a skill that requires charges that aren't the expensive pair, it might actually be in your benefit to buy a very cheap pair of them. Now, league starters for all classes. These are just, you start, you get to level 75, 80, 85, and then you can change into like an endgame build. But this is going to get you through to that phase where you can actually pick an endgame build or work on this character. We'll start at the top. So we got the Witch. The Witch and Shadow, I would suggest Hex Blast, because Hex Blast actually got a slight buff, as what I read. Correct me if I'm wrong in any of this, but they got a slight buff. A lot of the other stuff got a little bit of a nerf. That's the popular league starter stuff. So just as a what you can go to, I'd say go Hex Blast as a starter for the Witch and the Shadow. These are them specific skills. You can obviously use some of these other skills on a Witch or a Shadow, but those two, Hex Blast. The Ranger, you can still go Burning Arrow of Vigor as well, Eye Shot, and Tornado. I'm pretty sure I didn't see a Tornado nerf because it is deemed like a starter skill. STTT. Yeah, there is no T nerf. So yeah, tornado shot, ice shot, you can still go power. And alley hit of the spectrum didn't get touched either. The lightning strike did get a little touched because it was so popular. Now we go down to the gladiator duelist, but I reckon Cyclone would be. They seem to be pushing towards channel skills this league, so Cyclone, I would suggest you think about using as a duelist. The other skills like Shattering Steel and stuff you can still use, but yeah, if you thought about Cyclone but it's not, yeah, it might be actually becoming a more of a meta back to way it was when it was pretty much broken. So it might actually have with all these different changes with the cooldown things and all the runes being able to go in and this and that and the mercenaries, it might actually be the time for Cyclone to take its place up towards the top again. It was good as a skill to use, it's now then got buffed. So if you've been thinking about using it or you like using it, it just got another buff. The warrior, the mercenary, not mercenary, marauder. The marauder didn't really get a hit except for the main skills like Molten Strike of the Zenith, the basic skills like Sunder, Earth Shatter of Ground Breaking, I think it was a big hit last league, and it's going to still be okay. But yeah, Sunder, Bone Shatter, any of these skills are still very strong. As you can see, there's no Sunder. Unless I can't read and I'm missing Sunder here, there's no Sunder that's been nerfed or touched. It's still strong. We go up to Templar. Templar's a bit weird. Templar, you can use different things, but I would recommend you use Ice Spear and Penance Brand of Dissipation. Didn't get touched either. That was a strong league starter. Some of the other stuff have been touched from the Templar, so you're looking at, and like Ice Nova. Ice Nova got a little nerfed. Not, I don't think the base Ice Nova, the Ice Nova that of Wintry Blast or something, the one that you can put the helmet on and you end up doing more damage over the top of them. Frost Blast, is it? Ice Nova or Frost Bolts. 2 Frost Bolt projectiles instead of 4. It's slightly worse than it was. The base Ice Nova wasn't touched, so you can use that as a little starter if you prefer that. Or you can go a Ice Spear, Penance Brand of Dissipation. 1 second. I thought I covered everything in my little research bit, but obviously I didn't. Kinetic Blast was a big starter. Okay, so Kinetic Blast didn't get touched either. But just so I'm getting it right, the skill Penance Brand of Dissipation. And we'll just go over the P's, and as you can see, there's no Penance Brand of Dissipation there. They got nerfed. So once again, the league starters I would recommend that are pretty safe for you to use unless they come out with more notes and nerfing it. They aren't finished doing all that. But we have the Witch and the Shadow do Hex Blast. The Shadow Ranger do Ice Shot or Tornado or Burning Arrow. Burning Arrow of Vigor once you get the Transfigured. The Duelist Tricyclone, Marauder, go Shatter, Sunder, Bone Shatter, or a Slam based skill. And then we got the Templar, and you can go the Ice Spear, Penance Brand, and Dissipation, Kinetic Blast. We just checked was still okay, and any other skills that you can use with another class that I listed, you can obviously use them with whatever class you feel more comfortable with. There has been some changes with Ascendancy, so if you rely on Ascendancy to make it powerful, do check the notes, because you come down here and you go Ascendancy changes here, and it'll go through the actual changes that have been made with Ascendancy. Some have been scrapped, some have been reworked, and some have been tweaked. They're pretty much the same, but they're tweaked, so it might actually be that tweak that ruined your build. But yeah, let me know what you think about the league starters, what you're going to start, what you recommend a league starter for this league, as we know the information at the moment. And I'll catch you next time, and hopefully we get more information on the mercenaries that are involved, and then we can see what potentially will be possible for those mercenaries going forward. But I do think they're going to be a trigger mechanism for you to increase your damage without maybe even skip a skill or a this, that, the other thing, so you can actually trigger something without you actually requiring it all. So you might actually be able to do more damage using them as a trigger and like a skill gem or a set of skill gems as an attacking person. So do keep that in mind about the mercenaries. They can be actually an extra set of skills that you can use to trigger things that you are doing. But yeah, I'll catch you next time, and thank you and goodbye, and have fun.